Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Little Meatballs Nursery. I'm Sandra. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Guys, my lipstick is still drying, so that's why it was like, it's like they were kind of sticking to one another when I was talking. I probably should have just waited. I feel like I just had Botox or something. Like I'm just waiting to move. Anyway, so, well, that's continuing to dry, which I just should restart the video, but I'm not. I can't even imagine how that just looked or sounded. So, we're just gonna leave it though. It's still dry. Anyway, guys, so how is everyone? Um, crack myself up before I even start here. I can't even talk yet, guys. I should have waited. What happened was I did my makeup. It's sticky. I did my makeup and then I was so hungry because let me tell you, this has been one hell of a fucking week for me, okay? But I was so hungry, and yesterday I ordered whatever, like, because I didn't have enough to do, like, with Walmart Express, not Express, just Walmart grocery delivery. You have to you have to a minimum of a minimum of a minimum of $35 or more to place an order to be delivered, and without them charging you a fee, okay? Which I think is fucking ridiculous, because if you're paying a monthly or a yearly subscription to something, I feel like you shouldn't have to pay any extra just because it's under $35. I mean, I could see them saying over $10 or something like that, but 30, I mean, come on. Anyway, so didn't have enough to do the order, and Jason couldn't go out, so he's having a bad time with his hip and his back. He's got to have another back surgery. He's going to see the surgeon. So his shoulder's what he got to do. He has a torn something in his shoulder, and so the doctor was gonna schedule the surgery for him. And then this happened with me, that I had to go to the hospital, and now I'm looking for a surgeon. So we're all falling apart here. We're fucking falling apart. So where was I so didn't have enough to do the order, so I'm like, fuck, I really need coffee, because I did like a half a pot yesterday, and I was like, shit, I don't have any tea bags. Usually I have tea bags as backup, and I don't really like tea because it gives me a lot of gas. So I was like, okay, I know I'm just one big gas bomb, but it's from the top, I swear. It's just top gas. Jason's the one with the bottom. But anyway, so I did I could only get like a couple of things. So I grabbed coffee, because I need coffee. Otherwise, I'm going to start to get a headache. And I already am not feeling good this week. So I was like, fuck that. I am not going without coffee. Obviously, I made sure the kids obviously had what they need first. But so I got coffee, and then I got a pack of mint Oreo cookies. The family size pack, so I could split that up for dessert. So I ate mine right away as soon as I got here with my coffee, because I was hungry. I was hungry. I know it's the wrong thing to eat, but it was cheap, for everybody to have some. And I was like, okay. So I just ate like 5 Oreo cookies and with my coffee. And so, I can't even tell. It's anyway. I'll get to that. Anyway. So, as soon as Walmart, like I said, I just got coffee and the Oreo cookies. That was it. I had like $10 left. I think I have like a couple bucks. Jason could cook a half a gallon of milk later. Because he's already out. He's out right now at the doctor. But I think he said he has to come home first because he forgot his wallet. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so my coffee, thank God I got the beginning of the month I bought a powder creamer. A caramel macchiato powder creamer. And I never tried it before, I don't use the powder creamer. I was like, fuck this, I don't know. But as a backup, as a backup because when you run out of half and half milk and you can't get any more and you have a few days left till you get paid, you gotta have something for the coffee. So I'm like, okay, I'll get the powder. So I got it, and it's actually not that bad. It's really not that bad. So I will buy it again to keep up, on hand because it's coming in handy now because I don't have any creamer. So I'm like, fuck. So I got the coffee, no creamer. It's always like one or the other, right? You're one or the other. So anyway, so the coffee came, Oreo came. So my point being that when I ate the Oreos, I guess my original layer of lipstick was not completely dry. So when I went to look in the mirror, I looked a little closer, and thank God I did, because I had all little tiny black Oreo fucking cookie specks all stuck in my lipstick. I'm like, oh my God. Can you imagine I start fucking talking on here about dolls and stuff and nails and hair, and then I watch it back after all that, and I had those fucking black things. I'm like, oh my God, no. So I had to start over. And it's so hard to get this kind of lipstick off because it's Color Stay Revlon. And this is the only lipstick I'll wear because I absolutely fucking love it, because once you put it on and it dries, it stays on the entire day. No transfer, no nothing. I mean, if you don't let it set, then it'll start to like crack or maybe peel in areas. And so I had to take it all off. And the only way I get it off easy is to put a coat of like chapstick, or like I use the Blistex or something like that to make it really glossy and shiny. And then you just take the tissues and you just have to kind of smear it off and it comes off. So then I had to I had to do it all over again. So that's why my lips are still wet when I came on here. Now they're getting dry. So you see, now I could talk better. But that's why my lips were sticking together. 7 minutes to explain that to you all. Anyway, guys, my mood is I'm happy today. I'll tell you why I'm happy, then I'll tell you why I'm not. Okay, how about that? Good news first, bad news last. How do you want to do it? Anyway, so okay, so I'm happy because, and I know a lot of people are like, what? I'm happy because my kids went back to school. Woohoo! Guys, listen, okay. It was the week from hell. The week from hell, okay? Not just with one thing, okay? It was a variety of things just balled into a knot, kind of like my stomach right now. I am still in excruciating pain. No, I don't want to say excruciating. I am in a lot of pain, okay? It is like a twisting, fucking burning. It's like a pulsing, throbbing, then it changes. It's just fucking fucked up, okay? It's fucked up. And so I'm going through some physical things. I'm going through a lot of emotional things. I'm going through a lot of mental things. I'm going through a lot this week. Not just with myself, but with the family. And, I don't want to bring personal business, like that. But there have been things this past week and a half, 2 weeks. This month has been crazy. Okay. And I really wanted to come on here because this, like I said, this is my happy place. I just want to talk it out with you and me because I see my psychiatrist Wednesday. So that's good news. Day after tomorrow. In fact, she just sent me a reminder. But yeah, so, I'm going through some things, and, I try not to Google. I try not to panic. I try to say, this too shall pass, right? Because everything, you're in the moment, and you fear the worst, and you think, oh my God, look at what's happening, why me, what's going on? And then it kind of slowly, gradually gets better, or it goes away. But you gotta fucking fix it is the problem. You gotta fix it. Otherwise, it's just gonna come back at you again, right? I feel like, I don't know, at this point in my life, I don't have time for bullshit. I just feel like I just need to focus. And when I have too many things going on around me, it just feels like a lot and overwhelming. And so, I kind of have to, you know, I don't know. It's always, especially with kids, it's always a uphill battle, and you gotta just, roll with it and deal with it the best you can and hope for the best. And some things are just out of your hands, like what I'm learning as a parent too, not just in my personal growth, but as a parent, right? And as the kids, they change and their age, they're getting older, they're getting smarter. That's for sure. I'll give them that. My kids are very smart. And sometimes it's for their own good. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's, kids being kids and teenagers being teenagers. And, but when is enough? When is too much? What do you do to, I feel like in today's day, and I have talked about this with you guys, I swear we're going to get to dolls because I have all dolls around me. Okay. But, this has been, I couldn't talk freely, this past week and a half because I've always had somebody here. The kids were off and, Jason was home a lot. So I was like, I couldn't wait for Monday because I was like, I knew I'd be alone and I could just fucking talk it out, And I know I said I wasn't going to tell too many personal things anymore on here, and I'm still not, but I'm kind of going to be more just in a general sense of parenting and just things that you go through. So I just feel like, and it's true, okay? It's just not what I feel like. That's how society is. That's the world we're living in now and today is very, very, very extremely different than when we were growing up, okay? Our generation, okay, now I always mess up the Gen X, Z. I always ask Jason, what generation are we again? What generation are we again? I think it's Z. Are we Generation X? I fucking know. Listen, whatever we are, okay? I'm gonna be 48 years old this year, okay? So whatever generation we're in, okay? I just feel like parents today have less and less and less authority over their own children. And it's a bunch of bullshit, okay? To put it plain and simple. And it really, I feel like it depends on your state as well. It's like, I feel like some states are more laid back than others, and that includes everyone in this, in your state. That includes everybody just has a different vibe than say you were in a city, okay? Or, in a deeper, I don't know, how do I say it? Not inner city. Is that how you say it? Like just with more, I don't know how to put it, I mean, look, I look at it two ways. That's good and bad, right? Because in those more laid back places, you'll feel less in control because your children know really what is anybody going to do? Nobody's done anything. What are my consequences? I don't have none. So let me just see how far I could push this envelope, and it makes it extremely hard for parents. It makes it extremely hard on the child as well, I feel, because once they know, that there is no real consequence. There is nothing that anyone is going to do that's going to bother them. Then why the fuck do they have to listen to a thing? right? I mean, it's like, obviously, if you do something illegal, if you do something that, warrants police to arrest you, if you, do something that's out of control like that, then yes. But I mean, just everyday life and being a fucking wise ass, a spiteful person. Okay? Now, I want to say this. Growing up, my mom always said to me, because I was a rebel, I was out there, I was promiscuous, I did it all, okay? I did it all in my teen years, my young teen years too. Now, was I introduced at a young age? Sure, because otherwise how would I know any of it, Did shit happen to me? Do I have trauma and, PTSD and all that fucking shit from childhood? Definitely. Am I working on that? All the time. All the time. It is a never-ending battle, okay? It's a never-ending road. The fucking yellow brick road. I have my ruby fucking slippers on every goddamn day. I'm sorry. I said sorry. I don't mean to say that. Now, my mom always said to me, when you grow up, and I'm sure every kid has heard this, when you grow up and have kids, I hope they do this to you. I hope this is how they treat you. I hope this. And I finally get it, Mom. I finally understand what you meant. Back then you're like, oh, sure, whatever, fuck off. I'm sure I told my mom that quite a few times. I'm sure, I was very disrespectful when I was a young teen, but you know what? Not that she deserved that. I don't want to say it that way. But here's what I've learned. Okay. When you try to be friends with your own children, okay, as a parent, you are not there to be their friend. Okay. Yes, you are there to guide them in the right direction so that they grow up to be, great members of this society, to be well enough off that they can care for themselves and take care of their family and have a house and a car, and not even a house, just to be self-sufficient, right? You want them to do better than you did. And kids don't get that. They don't understand that, right? So a lot of times, my mom was my best friend. I'm not saying that you can't be friendly with your children, but that is not your job to be their friend. You are there to guide them in the right direction. You are there to make sure that they're safe, they have food, they have clothes, they have a roof over their head, they have an education, and that they do better than you, because that's what you want. You want the best for your kids. And this is maybe something only parents can understand, but I think everybody kind of gets the idea. Okay. But unless you have gone through these motions, guys, and it's nothing against anyone that doesn't have children, it's kind of the same thing like with a drug addict, for example. If you have never been through something like that, or an alcoholic or whatever, if you have never been through something like that, you don't understand. You just won't understand it. Okay. If you've been homeless, if you haven't been homeless, you wouldn't understand it unless you've been there. It's just one of those things where you have to be there to understand what is happening. Okay. To get an idea, a sense of, how kids could be, and I'm just using those as examples. That's not what's going on with my children, I assure you. But it's just the defiance is what I mean. And so I was like that with my mom, but it was part because she was my friend on some days, and then other days she wanted to be my parent. And so on the days where she's my friend and we're out drinking together at a bar and we're, meeting guys and, getting stoned or whatever the fuck we were doing, okay? I'm talking about 13, 14, 15 years old, okay? Did I look a lot older than that at the time? Yes, I did, okay? But, so my mom treated me like I was her friend. We went out together, we hung out together, we were drinking together, we were partying together. And then the next day, when the alcohol wore off, and this isn't to talk bad about my mom, it's just to give you guys an idea of like where I'm going with this whole talk, she would try to be my parent on those days that she wasn't drinking, that she wasn't feeling fine. And she would try to be my parent on those days. And I got sick of it. My stepfather blamed me every time she would take me out. I mean, I was a kid. Of course I wanted a party, and she would be like, come on, Sandra, let's go out. Were there times where I was like, come on, Mom, let's go? Sure. But I got blamed all the time for whatever happened because my mother would drink and black out. And she wouldn't even know where the hell she was. I would have to explain everything to her in the morning. And you know what? I'm telling you guys this. I probably wouldn't be talking like this if she was still alive because I wouldn't want her to hear this. But I feel that it's kind of the backstory to where I'm headed with this, So she tried to be my parent and I hated her for that. Because how could you, be friends with me and then the next day you side with your husband, my stepfather, who fucking hated me to begin with. And so, all that abuse that was on me, and then she would join his side the next day when she didn't want to party no more. Until the next time it was time to party. And then it was cool to hang out with me. So I stopped listening to her. I didn't fucking care what the woman said. I couldn't wait to leave the house in the morning. I would get up, I would shower, I would get dressed, do my makeup, everything, pack a fucking big bag to bring with me, a pocketbook. I got the hugest fucking tote bag ever. And I carried that on my fucking shoulder and I walked the streets. I went and I fucking walked everywhere. Okay, walked to my boyfriend's house, then we walked over to the mall, we would hang out over there, we would skip school, smoke, whatever the fuck we would do, okay? Anything to not be around my mother, my stepfather, or that house. And this is kind of the other side of the story in a way. I'm not going to get into everything that went on because obviously that's too personal and there's a lot of things that are just really, I don't want to start crying or start, having a panic attack. So I'm not going to go into every detail of but this is what I'm saying when I was explaining in one of my videos how we had a big house. We had the pond in the back. We had a pool. We had a deck. We always had pool parties. And, we had a nice yard and in the garden. Yeah, we had all of that, okay? My mother had the finest fucking furniture and china from Italy. And we had gold jewelry and fucking fancy dresses. None of that shit made a fucking difference to me because inside I was suffering. Okay. So, I didn't want to listen to her. Okay. I couldn't stand her anymore. I would get ready, pack my bag, leave the house and go wherever. And I would hop from house to house. I can't even tell you how many strangers' houses I went in, slept in cars, all that kind of shit. Okay. In sheds. Hanging out with people I don't even fucking know, just so I didn't have to be there. Okay. So the next time she would, I wouldn't come back home. Sometimes I wouldn't come home at all. Sometimes I would come home at 3 a.m. Sometimes I would wait till the next morning for him to leave for work. And then I would sneak in the window and just go to sleep. It was just terrible. Right. And then there was no phones back then. I had a beeper, but you need a quarter to call someone. Right. So once I would get back home, if she was drinking or if she felt like partying that night, she would say, Sandy, you want to hang out? You want to party? You want to go here? Let's go this. And again, I was a fucking young teenager. Of course I did, you know? And so it was like a constant battle with her. So I know all the games is what I mean. I know all those teenage games. And I feel like back then, like I said, she acted like my friend, then she wanted to be a parent. And you can't do that. That's my point. You cannot do that. And I've learned that. As a mom myself, you can't, you could be friend. It's a different thing. Okay. And this doesn't just go for children, right? But that's what we're talking about now. You can be friendly with your children, but you can't be friends with your children, okay? Because you have a mission. And I told you already, that's what the mission is, okay? You support them in every way. You make sure they're headed in the right direction, okay? Not the wrong one, right? Because I'm not bailing anybody out, I'm not doing that. I watched my mother do that. I said I wasn't going to cry. I watched my mother go through that with my brother and my sisters. And she would always call me saying she's on the phone with bail bondsman people and she's got to pay this and this one did that and, oh, what am I going to do? And da-da-da-da. And you would tell her, she wouldn't fucking listen and da-da-da. Okay? And it would keep over. I won't go through that shit. I fucking refuse. I shouldn't have to go through that shit. Okay? So, I try not to be friends with my kids. I'm not friends with them. I guide them. I teach them. I play with them. I, talk with them. We do things together. But when it comes down to parenting, that's what my mind is focused on, okay? And whatever it takes to get them to go in that right direction, then that's what you have to aim for, okay? Unfortunately, there are very limited resources here, way less than New York, okay? Way less, and it's super frustrating for me. It's super frustrating for parents in general here. And I'm not the only one because I've talked to a few people here, other parents, that live in this area. So, it's really hard to try to do your job when you don't have the right tools to do it. And that's the bottom line. That's the best way to describe it. You're limited on what you can do, what's available, what can you do to really help your child in the right direction, move them in the right way. And so me and Jason kind of play good cop, bad cop, if you have children, you understand that scenario. Okay. So where I try to move them in the right direction, Jason likes to be friends with the kids, and it makes my job that much harder, So it's really difficult to kind of navigate, and like I said, I grew up one way, he grew up a total opposite way, and so a lot of times, we butt heads because it's like he believes this was way but nothing gets solved, and he feels like in time it will resolve itself, and it doesn't. It does not resolve itself. It comes back. It'll go away for a little bit, but it comes back, because if you don't fix something and you just leave it, and you don't work on it, right, then the next time it's just going to be that much worse. It's the same kind of with friendships, I feel, right? Or just when you're talking with someone, right? And you kind of have to build that relationship. And sometimes it goes in the right direction, It takes time. It takes time. And that's what I've learned too. That's a big lesson I've learned, is that a lot of times because I want that connection with people, I kind of jump into things rather quickly, because I always think that that other person um, is on the same wavelength as me at that time, or has the same heart as me, is thinking in the same way. And a lot of times that's not the case. People have other, ideas going on in their head. Not everybody is feeling that same thing. And so those relationships don't work out in the end. And, that's okay, because I learned too that whoever you meet in this lifetime, you're meant to meet them, and whatever, for a time. It's for a purpose. You cross paths for a reason, and at the time it may not be what you think it is or what you feel that it is, but there's a reason why you met that person. There's a reason why things didn't work out. Then there are other relationships that you have to kind of build on, right? It takes time, but the difference is those relationships last because both parties are willing to work at it, to get to a better place, a higher level, to get to that space where you both feel at ease and you feel like this relationship was meant to be. It just needed a little tweak in here and there. It needed a little encouragement. It needed a little, more work. And that goes for friendships. It goes for family. You have to work on these things. Marriage, oh my God, marriage. I can't believe that I'm going to be married almost 30 years. That is absolutely fucking crazy. In fact, I think it's 30 years May 1st. We got married May 1st. I think it's 30 years this year. I have to look back. It's either 29 or 30. But anyway, so it's absolutely nuts. It's crazy. No, it is, because I got married at 18. Remember, we already went through this. And I'm going to be 48 this year. So it's going to be 30 fucking years I've been married. That is absolutely crazy to even fucking say. I don't know how he's put up with me for 30 years, let's be honest. He loves me. He loves me. And you can't, and sometimes, and that's the thing too, is when you love someone, right? You don't just walk away. You work at it. You figure out, okay, hey, what went wrong? Let's try and fix this. Let's try and work on this, and you know what? A lot of things, when you love someone, a lot of things can be fixed. I'm not saying overlooked, because again, these are things that you have to work at in order to survive, in order to survive the relationship. Right? And so you have to work at it. You have to work on those things, but it takes time, but you don't just give up, ohana, that's what we always say here. Ohana means family sticks together, and you do what you have to do to get to that, better space, to get on the right track. And, it's kind of the same with friends too. If you're willing to work at it and you really do love that person, you don't just walk away and say nothing. You try to figure out, hey, maybe this was misread or misunderstood, or what happened here. You talk, you communicate. And I don't have time for like superficial bullshit. I'm looking for real connections with people. And that's the main reason I'm here too, is to have connections with you guys. I don't care about the fucking numbers. I mean, I'm doing giveaways before I even get it to any numbers. Seems like my shit's going backwards, and I don't fucking care. It's like, hey, it's just a number, just like your age is just a number. That shit don't mean nothing to me. What's meaningful to me are the people that I meet, and the love that I get, and it's just wonderful and amazing. And I met so many wonderful people, and I learned from each of you. I learned something from each and every one of you. And that's wonderful in itself. Um, and to just keep building on the relationship and focusing on happy times and, good things and just, there's so much bad going on in this world right now. There always has been, but most definitely in recent times, I think, a lot of us could agree that, things didn't go as planned for America, you know, and I'm not going to get into politics in this video, but um, there's just so much crazy shit going on right now. Families being broken apart, and just things happening that make you want to throw up, plain and simple. And in this world, we don't need division. We need to come together, stand together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your race, your color, religion, and any shit like that. If you're trans, if you're gay, that's your business, right? That's personal business. And for anybody to say, oh, well, you're wrong, this and that. Well, no, I mean, that's your personal life. That's your personal life. That's how I believe. I may not understand everything that's going on, but again, it's not for me to understand. You're a human being. That's what I understand. You're a person. You're a living, breathing human being in this world. That's what I understand. And so it does not matter, okay, to me. And it shouldn't matter to any of you. It shouldn't matter to anybody at all. Think of all the peace we'd have in this world, in America alone, if people could just overlook those things and unite instead of being divided over these stupidity. It's stupidity. In my opinion, it's stupidity. Okay, it's ignorant, it's dumb. How can you, every day, I want to say this too, because I have biracial children. My teenagers are biracial, okay? And every day that they get older, and I think, because Jack got his ID and he wants to get his license and he wants to take a driving course and all that. And my heart races thinking about him driving because he is brown, okay? He's a kid of color, okay? And with everything going on in America right now, I have to teach my son how to act if a cop pulls him over. Okay? And I don't want to hear that that's everybody. No, it's not. Okay? It is, they target certain people. Okay? It's a known fact. And it makes my stomach fucking turn. Okay? It's sickening that I have to worry to have my boys out somewhere riding the bus or driving a car or anything like that because of the color of their skin. And it breaks my fucking heart because I never had that problem, obviously, but they can possibly encounter those problems. And as a mom, it makes you want to throw up because that there's really nothing you could do about it except to hope that nothing happens like that and to pray, right? I do pray about that. That is one thing I do pray about. I will say that. And to educate them, to talk to them about these real life things that could possibly happen, but I think like when I talk to Jack about his driving, this and that, is it the same conversation that a mother would have with a white child? No. And that's the part that makes me sick. That we have such division and just crap. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get off of this subject because it really breaks my fucking heart. So, I love my kids. I love my kids so much. They're my babies. I can't even believe Jack is gonna be 18. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. And when your child hurts, you hurt. Okay? When you feel like they could be in a situation that is gonna be not good. I mean, that goes for anybody, right? But certain situations, are just more stressful and let's just anyway, let's get to dolls, right? Because I've talked about so much crap. But anyway, that has been my week. So my week. It's just been really stressful. And then on top of what I'm going through with, defiance, and, the kids, they think, here, I'll tell you this, here in Washington, which I think is a load of shit. Okay. When you are 12 years old, you have, how do they call it? You have medical, like, privacy, I guess it is. We'll just say it like that. I don't know the technical term, okay? Where your parents, you don't have to tell them if you're going to the doctor. You make your own doctor's appointments. If I try to make a doctor appointment for Ethan or Jack, they tell me that we need their permission, verbal permission. So they need to get on the phone themselves. You don't have to be notified. Once you're 12 and older, a girl could even go have an abortion and not have the parents know. Okay? This is what I mean when I say they give the kids too much freedom. And they give the parents less and less control. Okay, over what happens with their own children. At 12 years old, you're still a child. And that was the point of my whole story when I was telling you about me with my mom when I was 12, 13, 14. Because there's just nothing. It's like they give you no tools. So it's like, okay, so, they can go and they don't have to tell me a thing. Even if they're on like medication or anything like that, they have to they have to, like, you can't just put them, they have to say, okay, I will take that. There's no like back in the day, you go with your mom, get a script and she'd be like, okay, you're taking this medicine. Okay, open up, here's some Triaminic, here's some Robitussin, open your mouth. There is none of that. You have no say, basically. And then, that's what I'm saying. You have to hope that they go in the right direction with things, because otherwise, what can you possibly do? Yeah, so there's just like, things that are just not proper in today's day. Let's say that. Not proper. And of course, I had to tell stories about my mom today because Google, of course, this morning with why don't you see your Google memories? And they're showing me pictures, baby picture after baby picture of the kids. Then who pops up? My mom. And I'm like, great. I'm like, hi, mom. I mean, and on top of all that, I've been going through some health things these past couple of weeks. I've been in the hospital twice. They're telling me one thing when they see me, like checking me out physically. And they were like, oh my God, and then once the scanner comes out, they're like, oh, well, they don't see no. You know what? I'm starting to believe that maybe it's this hospital or the doctors there, like the surgeon that's on call. Maybe it's a good thing that they didn't say, okay, let's do this now. Maybe there's a reason, maybe that doctor there is not going to be able to help me. Maybe something worse would happen to me. Maybe, I'm telling myself all these things because I don't understand, And I'm following up with everybody that I'm supposed to. I have tons of appointments in March coming up. But it's frustrating, and it's, you almost start to feel like giving up. Maybe, this is just how I'm supposed to be, and whatever happens. But then I think, well, I can't do that because I have 3 kids, so I can't just give up. I've never done that before. I always make a way. I always figure out a way. I find a way. It's called surviving. It's called being a survivor. And I've done that my entire life. But at a certain point, you get tired. You just get tired. You get drained. You get discouraged. You just are like, fuck, is this ever gonna end? Am I gonna be able to fucking get out of this now? And then you just, boom, there's an opening, there's a way. And so it's a lot, but I always, no matter what it is, I've always figured out how to get out that other side. And I always will, so that's why I'm very happy that school's back in because I was just done. I was drained. Oh my God. And then, like I said, just things going on my own self, and it's hard to, you can't put that first when you have other things going on, and then you kind of just forget about what's going on with yourself because you have to deal with a zillion other things on top of regular things, okay? Like regular cleaning and regular just household shit and regular shopping and I'm really dreading the shopping because it's coming up on a Friday, okay, is when I do my toiletries, household, all that shit. I got to get a wet Swiffer because I'm tired of the fucking mop. I'm not fucking doing that anymore. I want to do, I got to get some rugs for the bathroom, shit that, and I told him, I'm like, Jason, I'm going to just get a whole bunch of shit, like fucking runners. And, you're going to have to go to the laundromat to wash them all because I ain't even going to put them in my regular machine. They won't even fit anyway. And then I'm thinking, I'm not fucking doing that. If we're going to get runners, I would told him you're going to have to go to like the laundromat once a week and just fucking wash them. And he didn't care. He's like, okay, as long as I can make a bus trip, that's fine. He's fine with that. And then like Jason's just, Jason, if you're watching this, because I told him, maybe you should watch my videos sometime. I love Jason, but he's we have very opposite personalities. And that a lot of that is because of how we grew up, and he's much more calm, laid back, and just like kind of, I don't know how to put it. And sometimes, like I told him yesterday, I was like, sometimes you just want like I don't always like to be the dominant one. I don't want to be, this bitch, okay, all the time. Sometimes I need, I don't know how to describe it right. And I can't talk to him. Like, I feel like I don't want to, it's not meant to put him down, but, I don't want to say what I'm thinking. I think Christina already is in my head. Sometimes you just need some ice cream. Right, Christina? But I don't know. A lot of times I feel like I'm in my own relationship. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like, I just feel like, I don't know, like, not all the pressures on me. I mean, kind of, like, I guess I would say, I'm more head of the household, but I don't want to always be, having to figure everything out on my own is what I mean. I don't want to always have to figure out the meal plan. I don't want to always have to figure out what's next with the kids. What are we, doing? What does this one have to do? What is Danny's party going to be? What are we getting him for his birthday? What's Easter going to look like? I think you guys get the idea, you know? And I understand as women, we kind of do those sort of things, and he's not going to think of like holidays or decorating or anything like that. I mean, he couldn't care less. He would just as long as he has a chair, or a couch, whatever, and a bed, he's cool. Like, and food and whatever, like coffee. He doesn't need anything else. His music, that's all he needs. His headphones and his music. Okay? Anything else is just extra. Jason doesn't have anything extra. He just has, that's it. His headphones, his music, and his books. He likes to read once in a while, but and so sometimes I just need a break. I guess that's what I mean, but I can't. I can't take a break because then everything will break, So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot on my shoulders. It's a lot in my heart. It's a lot on my brain. And so that's why a lot of times, I'm last because I have to kind of keep everything else together. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know there's somebody out there that feels this way, okay? Probably a lot of you. But I'm the only one that says it. Because, hey, whatever, it's the Sandra show, right? It's just, that's what I mean when I say you just got to push through it. You just got to get through it, and then everything will be okay. You got to just believe that. So it's just been a rough couple weeks. That's all. It's just been a rough couple weeks. Then it'll get better. And, take it as it comes, right? Take it as it comes. And so what I want to do is, now that I'm looking around, I've said this already, I've been trying to get Danny to get rid of his Behringer dolls. Just keep one. I said, just keep Snoopy, maybe Tyrone, because he's cute, but get rid of the rest of them, And every time we try to do that, he's like, well, mommy, I'm going to keep this one. Can I keep this one? I'm like, and I feel bad because they're his babies. And I think he has a special attachment to each one, because each one was oh my God, I can't talk now, was bought for him in a different, for his birthday or Christmas or just as a surprise. And he has memories attached to them. I think all my kids do that with their stuff. Even if they don't display it, they're like, oh, it's for memories. Mom, is for memories. But, and then I have on this shelf, I have like artwork. And then I have my little doll that me and Christina and Amanda will have the same one. And then I have my strawberry shortcake on a skateboard up there that Christina got me. We love that thing, Christina. But the only thing is the batteries. Batteries are always a thing for me. Like, we never have batteries. So it's like, that's like a luxury item here. Batteries for anything other than the TV remote is a luxury. And I mean anything else that needs batteries is a luxury around here, okay? So we don't usually use strawberry shortcake that often. She needs batteries. If anybody ever wants to send batteries, hey, I think she takes C or D. I'll have to check that out. And then we have my princess castle up there that Christina got me. And then I have all the mini babies that Amanda got me for Valentine's Day. So I just have love surrounding me in this room because I have so many things that so many of my friends and viewers have gotten for me. These earrings Amanda sent me for Valentine's Day. I got this bracelet in the box opening from Amanda. Suzanne sent me this beautiful bracelet with the koala on it that I still track him. What's his name? Ping. I forgot what his name is, but we track him. And I love this bracelet. Suzanne, I want to say this is an awesome bracelet. I don't know if you picked the bracelet yourself or they just sent one with the koala, but the color and everything, I love it. I love it. In fact, I want another one, so I might go to the website and see what they got because that's really cute. And I love this stone. Look at this koala. It's so well made. It's really nice. This, and I love my globe. Amanda, I look into this globe and I sometimes picture myself in there as one of those stars, and I'm just like kind of sitting in the middle of all those stars in the globe, and I'm just really small in there. So my mind wanders, okay? And then what else here? And this blue dress that Suzanne got for Maddie for Christmas. We're actually going to try this on Matilda because I think it's going to be really nice with her blue eyes. So we're going to try this on her. I think that'll be really cute. And I don't know yet if we're going to put this, because I'm going to put the silver shoes, I think. And then I don't know, one of these, either the silver or the big white bow. Don't know yet. I'm hoping that the shoes fit her because I didn't try them on. They should. And then we have Maddie back here in her bunny outfit with her, holding her bunny, and she has bunny ears on, and those were also from a viewer last Easter. And here is sweet Matilda, and she's in her bunny tights, and I don't really want to take the tights off of her because I feel it protects the vinyl on her legs, because like I told you guys before, like the vinyl, this is an older doll, and she starts to get like little tiny scratches. I know it's hard for you guys to see on camera, but kind of just little scratches. When it's in a certain light, you could see the scratches. And she also does have a little bit of paint on her. I don't know if that was my lipstick or what. And I keep forgetting to try and take that off, but I don't want to scratch her. But anyway, I like that her limbs are covered that way, so I might leave the tights underneath the blue dress. I don't know. This purple is adorable. I love it. But I just wanted to try something blue with her eyes. But look at these bunny ears. Aren't they adorable, guys? A viewer made these. Handmade these. Isn't that beautiful with the bow? So look at her. Look at this girl. I just love her so much. Oh, my baby. My baby Matilda. You guys, you have no idea how happy I am that I have a Hempstead doll again. And I'm looking at a couple of other, a Macari, a couple of other artist dolls from back in the day, not Hempstead's. One is from Zap and one is Goats. So I'm excited to see if I could get those. They're from the same seller. She has drastically reduced the price. They come in original outfits. One is actually standing with human hair, I believe. And the other one is a seated smaller doll, but I think that it would be cute. I like the way she's weighted. I've had both of those dolls before in my collection. And, you know, I purchased them brand new when they were available. In fact, the one doll, I remember the day Jason came home from work and I told him, I was like, babe, I really need the money now. I got to go get a money order. And he's like, for what? And I was like, for this doll that I just got. And at the time I had a dealer that I was getting all these dolls from. What was her name? Oh my God. I forgot her name, but really sweet lady. And Janet, I think her name was Janet. And she had a small doll shop in Jersey. Yes, that was her name. And I used to talk to her on the phone, and she would get the newest, you know, latest expensive dolls in, and she would give me a call and say, I just got 2 of these. Did you want one? And then she would say, I could hold it, you know, just with a small deposit, and I would pay her like $20, and she'd hold it for me. And then that Friday, I'd be like, babe, please, you know, and I don't even want to tell you what I had to do to get that money back in the day. You know, a lot of batting my eyelashes, darling. We'll just say that. No, I'm just joking. But Jason was really good with the dolls, seriously, because I didn't have money then. And, you know, I would just go out shopping, you know, my mother-in-law. That's all we do is shop. We would wait for the men to get paid, and then we would be like, okay, we're going shopping. We're going shopping. Now, mind you, they both had really great jobs, and they both worked for Con Edison. If you live in New York or you're familiar over there, Jersey, whatever, Con Edison is an extremely, you know, popular electrical company. And so they were working as senior substation operator. And so Jason was in it. Like it was good. You know, that's the good old days. That was really the good old days. I didn't have kids yet. So every Friday he would, you know, basically just hand it over. You know, we weren't paying rent, mind you, because we lived with my in-laws and we had our own apartment downstairs in their house. They didn't ask for a dime. We would just contribute like for food, we would share, and like I would cook one night, they would cook another night, or I would buy some food and, cook it and then bring it upstairs and stuff like that. We paid like our own phone bills and electric we paid. But we didn't pay any, so it was like, and we didn't have the kids. So we were like party time. It was party mode. We would go shopping. I remember I would get all the, just everything. Like I remember I had a covered patio outside. And we had two of those like long folding tables, and we would just put them like I remember one long way on like an L shape kind of against the house and the patio wall. And I would make a drink table. So we would get all the liquor. I would get, I don't know, 7 bottles of all different, melon liqueur. We used to get rumple mints and tequilas and vodka. And we had everything, okay? We used to get all the sodas, rum. We used to get all the sodas, the big things of ice, and put them in the cooler. We had the cool plastic drink cups and everything. And then, we had the bottled beer. We put that in the cooler. We had fruit punch, and we just had a whole bunch of shit outside. This was like summer parties, And then you had to have like the citronella candles, to get the mosquitoes away. But then we had like the food table, snack table, and like I used to do a lot of finger foods because, who wants to clean up all that shit? But I got a lot of paper plates. We used to get like the fried chicken already made like from Walmart. So we get the fried chicken pieces and potato salad and macaroni salad. Then I would make a big salad with olives and tomatoes and onions, and just throw everything in there, put out different salad dressings. I mean, we did everything. We would grill burgers, and oh my God, it was just, Jason used to make this, oh my God, this amazing marinade for London broil. Oh my God, we haven't had that in so long. But we used to just, it was great. It was actually fucking great. It was party central. We used to have my youngest sister, but although she did show up occasionally, but my sister that's 3 years younger, Lisa, she would come over and she would bring her friends, and at one point we put up a giant tent in the backyard. The backyard wasn't that big there, but we fit like this giant tent so that it was extra space for people to go hang out and drink whatever and eat, because our apartment wasn't big. It was a small 1-bedroom, in the downstairs of the house. In fact, the kitchen was just a hallway. It was like a galley kitchen, and it was a work in progress because we were trying to replace the floors. And then I'll tell you a little story. Story time. So she's heavy, this girl. Let's start changing her as I tell you the story. So okay, you're gonna laugh, or maybe you're gonna be like, what the fuck? All right, I'm trying to move these babies because I have Jack here and I have my little baby Danielle. So I don't know how I'm gonna dress you, but let's see if we can fit you in the middle. There you go. Okay, so let me get a sip of coffee for this story. All right, which I have my powdered creamer in. It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. And I have my S mug today. I got this in a box opening with baby Reese for Christmas. This was a Christmas box opening. God, that was one of my first Christmas box. Oh my God, what was it? I should have kept my first one. Was a Behringer. She was beautiful. But I think this was the second year. So it had to be like 5 Christmases ago. 2021 maybe? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so we had the galley kitchen, okay? And it was kind of like you walk in and there was like the doors that open for like the boiler and the hot water heater and shit. And then you have the doors that close, and then you walk in, there's a regular sized fridge on your right, and then the stove right next to it with the range. And then right in front of you was the big sink, and then you had a window and the cabinets underneath and above. So this was I don't know if anybody remembers the blackout in New York City, and all of like it went all the way up. We lived in Fishkill at the time, and it went all the way up there, And it had to do with Con Edison too. They were trying to fix shit and everything went black. It was just the blackout. I don't know what year it was. It had to be like 2021, 22, something like that, 23 maybe. I don't know. Something around there. No. What am I talking about? 2003, 23. Yeah, right. 2002, 2003, something around there. Okay. And everything went black. Okay. So we had candles everywhere. And I don't know what, let me so I don't, let me see, maybe I could just put these on today. I said I was going to start wearing them March 1st, but matches my sweater. So I don't know what possessed me, okay? But probably booze possessed me. But the candle started, it was getting to, like, the wax, was completely melted, and it started, like, going on my table. So I'm undressing the baby here while I tell you. So, so in an instant, I wasn't thinking, whoa, there's from the sweater flying. I wasn't thinking, guys, okay? And I think can you guess what I did? So I took the candle and I poured the wax down the sink. And I ran the hot water. So I thought, okay, it's fine. The hot water will bring the wax down. It will be all good. Wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking that it would become a problem. I just thought, okay, hot water keeps it melted, keeps it going. It's going, it's going, it's gone. Well, no. So everything was fine at first, And then little by little, when I would do the dishes, I would tell Jason that the sink is clogged. And so he would come in and, plunge it or whatever they did. He had a little snake, that you put down the sink. And, it would get a little better, but then the water would start backing up again. And I would keep calling him. He's like, what did you put down the sink? And then I thought, oh shit, because it was like a week went past, and like, it wasn't completely ever going down, but it was going down slowly. It wasn't like fully blocked or nothing. And so the water would go down, but just not right away. So I'd have to do like dishes, like in batches, like 3 dishes here, 2 glasses there, a fork. And so eventually, I love this skirt, guys. If you guys can get this on sale, I highly recommend you do. Gymboree. This is 12 to 18 months. But you could adjust the waist. Like, you can pull this back and pin it, like, to fit a smaller waist. Anyway, so I told Jason, I'm like, I may have put something down the sink. And he's like, well, what? He's like, what did you put down there? And I said, I kind of poured the wax down the sink. And he looked at me, he said, wax? He says, why would you do that? I said, I ran the hot water. I said, I thought it was fine. He's like, oh my God. So him and my father-in-law, they had to go underneath the pipes, and they rented this big snake thing, and they had to snake it through. And he put I think it was like, he had to go back and get a longer one, because I think he got like a 20-foot hose or something. I could be wrong, but it wasn't the biggest one. And he snaked it all the way through, and we kept trying, and it was horrible. It was horrible. He couldn't get through. It would still back up, and then eventually it backed up all the way, and I had a flood in the kitchen floor, so all the floor had to come up. It was just concrete at one point. It was a wreck. And I would have to bring my dishes upstairs to do in my mother-in-law's kitchen, or I could use the bathroom sink, which I didn't like doing that. So I would just, wait and fill the drain board and then carry the whole drain board up and wash the dishes. It was horrible. It really was horrible. Um, that went on for a while, because he couldn't figure out how to fix it, and we couldn't afford to get a plumber. So, I mean, I don't know what happened with that. They wanted to do it themselves, so whatever. We eventually replaced the floor, which was nice, and I did a hand painting, like mural, on the painted wall in the galley kitchen. I just did a freehand paint of like kind of seaweed grass, and then I put the flowers in between of different colors. I did a sun with some clouds, and I did a tree with some little animals like birds and squirrels. And, I took my time, and I used to love painting the walls anywhere we were. I painted the whole living room. I painted the bedroom with that sponge painting thing. So it's like the same, like I did it pink. It was like a mauve color, two different color pinks. And it took forever to do the sponging thing. That's when it was popular on QVC. Was it Donna Dewberry? I think that's who it was. And she did the tutorials on how to paint the flowers and all that. So, yeah, so I used to paint everything. I would paint everything. But yeah, so eventually the kitchen was a fucking wreck. It took a long time, and he had to go get a different hose. It was horrible. He was under there laying on the floor underneath the cabinet for hours. It was just terrible. It was terrible. I felt so bad. But yeah, so that's a lesson. Do not throw wax down the sink. He still brings it up till this day. And if he comes home while I'm on here, I'm going to ask him about it so you guys can hear his thoughts on it. Because, yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. The partying was great. Those times were great, the times that I got to spend with my family, my sisters, my brother. That's kind of when we were all closer and younger. Everybody was younger. It seemed like when they moved to Florida, that's when like all shit broke loose. I mean, they were kind of, shady characters. Before, they used to go down to Manhattan every weekend. Then it became every other day. They used to go down to Hunts Point, I think it was. I don't remember. They're crazy. They used to go everywhere. They used to go down to I was Fordham, and they used to go down to oh my God, I can't think of the other place. But my mother would always be like, oh, they went there, they went down there, they went down there. And, of course, the Bronx. I don't know exactly where, but a lot of shit did happen in New York, too, now that I think about it, though. I mean, with my little sister stealing my mom's car, and when my mom was cleaning a house. My mom used to clean houses. Let me continue to... boy, you guys are getting lots of stories today. I went from Sandra not telling any stories to Sandra, let's tell a shitload of stories. You see what I'm saying? That's why when I said that, I was like, hey, you never know. That's how I was feeling on that video. And that's because, like I said today, I had everybody home, and I was like, fuck. I was like, those are the most boring fucking videos, because I watched it back and I'm like, Sandra, what the fuck? This is the most boring fucking shit because they were all home. And I'm like limited to what I could talk about. I mean, Ethan was basically sitting right here next to me. I'm like, shit, the fuck, And he likes to watch when I do the videos. He likes to, and join in sometimes. But I'm like, fuck, I can't talk about certain things. And so my mood shifts. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to stick to the dolls. I can't tell any stories. So that's why I was like thinking, okay, well, I can't, but now I can. So anyway. So back to the story. So, My sister. Okay. So my mom used to clean houses for a living. My mother did a lot of things. Okay. She was a manager for Honda. She was a CNA. And she went to people's houses and took care of them. She was, lady of the night. No, she could have been. I mean, she was a disco dancer back in the day, and she won awards for that, with my dad. But, no, so my mom was cleaning houses. She had her own cleaning business, okay? So she was cleaning houses, And she also worked at the cafeteria of the school, which I did too. I worked at the cafeteria of the elementary school in the early 2000s. And it was fun. And I love that they used to give me all the food to take home. Anything that was left over at the end of the day, they're like, here, you want this, you want this. Anything they couldn't use again or near expiration, they gave me boxes of shit. I used to come home with boxes of shit. But anyway, that's besides the point. So she was cleaning a client's house, and this client happened to be very wealthy, very well off. It was a giant house, but my mom said they were filthy. Like they didn't clean a thing. They didn't even pick up their clothes, nothing, or a dish or anything. And my mom would go there twice a week. They would pay her hundreds of dollars to clean everything. So she would clean the entire bathroom, top to bottom, everything. She would do the entire kitchen, dishes and all. She says she usually would not do dishes in a regular client's house that called her, but for this family she did. She made an exception. And she mopped all the floors, dusted everything. They had a huge house. Okay, so she would be there all day long. So my sister wanted to take my mother's car. My mother had just gotten a brand new car, mind you, okay, like a week before. And she got it from Honda because she was working for them at the time too. And my mother used to, clean the houses on the weekends on the side. Anyway, so she had the car, and my mother's like, you are not taking my car. Sorry, you're not taking my car. Because she wanted to go to the Bronx. And my mother's up in Fishkill. She's like, you are not taking my fucking new car to the Bronx. You're crazy. So she's like, fine. She's like, fine, I'll come with you and I'll help you clean the house. So she went. She's in the house. They're cleaning, and my mother's cleaning. So she can't be watching my sister. This is my youngest sister, by the way. So, not the one in Pennsylvania. This is the one still in Florida that I don't talk to. But anyway, so she's in the house, right, with my mother. And then my mother says, all of a sudden, she's calling, Michelle, where are you, Michelle? And she didn't hear her. And she didn't see her. So my mother says she looks out the window, and my mother's car is gone. Michelle took her fucking keys, and she went and she took her fucking car. And my mother's going crazy because at the time, I don't know if they had a cell phone. If they did, Michelle definitely turned it off. Okay. So she actually went down to Yonkers, picked up my brother. Then they both drove down to the city. And my mother's calling me, screaming, crying, Sandra, I don't know what to do. My client, they drive me home, but I don't know what to do. She took my car. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to call the police because I don't want to put her in jail. My mother never wanted to get any of them in trouble, which, okay, they're your kids, but this is what I mean. She stole your brand new fucking car. You told her she could not take it. So you're not going to call the police. You're just going to she's like, no, because by now they're probably in the Bronx. They probably picked up shit in my car and I'm not going to fucking get in trouble for that shit. I mean, my mother went through crazy shit. Okay. Crazy shit. And meanwhile, she's calling me. And I think at that time, maybe I had moved to Florida. I don't know. I always seem to try to move where they weren't. Okay. I was moving somewhere where they are not. It's trouble. This was constant, her life was just constant. Okay. So she's, I don't know what to do. I said, Mom, call the police. She's like, I can't, I just told you I can't. What if, this and that. I said, okay. I said, then wait. Then what are you going to do? You got to wait, right? So I hung up with her. She's like, I'm going to call, her boyfriend at the time. I'm going to call Paul. And Paul didn't like the kids, because he knew that they, he wasn't the nicest guy. My mother loved him. So I invited him into my house, but, I wasn't too, Anyway, oh, she looks cute in the blue, but now I gotta find blue hair bows. But anyway, let me get the blue. Let me see if we have blue. So I hung up with her and she's doing whatever. And then I get a phone call. Okay, I need a sip of coffee for this. So I get a phone call. She starts screaming, Sandra, they got into a car accident on the bridge. Oh, my car, they said Michelle's sitting on the curb at the highway over the bridge. And I'm like, Mom, what's going on? She says, I got to get a ride over there right now to the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. She says, they totaled my car. My car is all fucked up. She says, they're sitting on the curb. They're fine. You know, they have a couple of scrapes. The police told me, but I have to get over there. My fucking car, they fucking told. I'm like, Mom, you should have called the police. You should have called the police. And she's like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on there. I don't know if they're searching them or what's going on or what's in my car. And so she was so worried that they stuck something in her car, instead of like, if they instead of having it on them, they would just throw it in her car somewhere. Because they've done that to her before. So you could see why I did not want to live near them ever. Okay? The confusion. Okay? The craziness. Because I had all this when I was growing up. I didn't fucking need this in my adult life, And even though sometimes she'd be like, oh, it's not going to be like that. Because she wanted us to move to Florida, But I visited her instead. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't fucking moving down here. I ain't bringing my fucking kids down here. You're out of your goddamn mind. It's always a problem. Always a fucking chaos craziness that they put you in the middle of. I'm like, fuck that. And she's like, oh, they're my grandkids. They're my grandkids. Well, yeah, but they're my kids, and I'm not fucking doing that, okay? I know how this goes all too well, Anyway, so this is when they're still in New York, though. Fuck, never mind Florida, okay? So she's like, well, what am I going to do? I said, well, Mom, get there and let me know what's going on, okay? She's like, can you come with me? I said, nope. Sorry, I'm not coming with you. I'm cooking dinner, okay? And she loved my mother-in-law, my in-laws, but I think in the beginning, especially in the beginning of my marriage, she kind of resented the fact because I had a normal, life. I played Rummy 500. Me and my mother-in-law would cook. Everybody would eat at the table. We would play Scrabble and watch American Idol, or Dancing with the Stars, or whatever, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, and play our board games and play dolls. And we were happy with that. And I think my mom was just always full of chaos. She was chaotic. It was always craziness around her. And I could just not deal with that anymore. So I just, she called me. I told her advice. She never took it. Oh, well. Sorry, I can't help you any further. Anyway, she's like, please come with me. I'll come pick you up. Nope. I ain't going anywhere near that scene. You got to be out your damn mind. Okay. I said, go there and show me a picture of your car. What are you going to do with your car? I don't know. She said, I don't know. They're going to tow it. They're going to tow it. So my sister and my brother were okay. Okay. My mother's car was completely totaled. They smashed the whole front end into the side rail of the bridge because they fell asleep at the wheel. Nice. That's the second time my brother actually did that. The first time he was on the Taconic State Parkway, and wow, you guys are getting a lot of stories today. A lot of stories. He was on the Taconic State Parkway. He was driving in a convertible T-top. He dozed off. He went off an embankment. Whoop! Up, down, flipped the car upside down, and landed upside down on the road underneath an overpass from the highway. And he ended up in Valhalla Hospital. And me and Jason rushed to see him, of course, because at first he was unconscious. My mother said that they didn't know what was happening. They did scans. Of course, he had like lacerations on his head. And then he was awake. And so we were all in the waiting room waiting to go up to see him. I seen my mother's in-laws, like her sister-in-law and everybody, that I hadn't seen in like 10 fucking years. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta sit in here with these fuckers. They didn't treat me very nice as I was, got older. So I was like, fuck, yeah, I don't want to see them, fake. I don't like the fakeness. I can't stand people that are just like, oh, talk to you like, they haven't seen you in so long. I haven't talked to you. It would be like, oh, how are you? Like you don't fucking give a shit, bitch. Like, don't fucking talk to me. Like where were you the past 10 fucking years? Fuck off. you know, um, they were snooty. They were filthy fucking rich. They still are, but they live in penthouse, Daytona Beachside. And they're just like, her whole house is like the walls are like lined in gold and shit. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, they definitely found the fountain of youth because they got to be like 90 fucking years old by now, but they're still like, like statues and shit, like. Anyway, so, my brother. So he came too, and we went to visit him. And he was messed up from that point on. He wasn't the same Johnny. He was messed up from that point on. But the doctors came in, and why don't I have any blue bows? The doctors came in, and do you have blue bows in your hair? I'm going to have to look now. Maggie, do you have any blue bows? Somebody took the blue bows. But the doctors came in, and they told us that if, because he had the metal, when you have a T-top, like, convertible car. And Jason had a Camaro like that. We love that Camaro. Ooh, we were in the Camaro, yeah, with the boombox. Anyway, that was my Pier 1 story when I got that bamboo chest from Pier 1. I seen it on sale. All right, that's a different story. So stay on track, Sandra. So the doctor came in, and he's telling us if he didn't have that metal T-top bar there, like if it was a regular convertible, he would have been decapitated on impact. But because that was there, that metal frame, that's what, like when it impacted the car, the metal piece bent right like above where his head was. And if that wasn't there, that structure wasn't there, it would have just went through his fucking head. And even after that, I'll tell you, I'm sorry, Mom, but I mean, even after that, this bitch, okay, I'm just gonna tell you, this bitch, okay, it's no secret that my brother was on drugs, okay, this bitch comes in that I knew because my mother let her stay at her place. Okay, she was a friend of my sister's. She let her stay at her place because she had nowhere to go. And my mother would call me up and say, Sandra, my check is missing. My check is missing. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, my check from Honda. She's like, I've been taking all the checks and I've been putting them in my drawer, but they're all missing. I said, well, how much money do you have? She's like, I don't know. There was like 5 or 6 checks there. So I'm like, well, what did you do with them? She's like, I don't know. So she's looking. And she called me back a week later. She says, Sandra, I kicked that bitch out of the fucking house. I found all my checks hidden in the floorboard of the room she was staying in. Okay? Now, this girl was known to bring drugs into my mother's house. And I kept telling my mother, get her the fuck out of there. Get her out of there. Get her out of there. And she says, oh, no, she's nice. She's sweet. Because, of course, they're going to butter you up, Mom. What do you think? She's going to butter you up. She wants to stay at your house. Okay, so she's going to be sweet to your face. She's going to say, oh, yeah, miss, oh, please, yeah, and then, oh, you look so beautiful. Your hair looks nice. Oh, you're wearing a great outfit. I'm like, Mom. And I wouldn't even go over there to visit my mom anymore once that girl was there. I was, fuck this, okay, because I knew what she was about. So my sister would always say, oh, she's nice. Leave her alone. But she's the one that's, I know everybody has their own. You can't blame anybody else for your use of anything, okay? You accept it, you do it, you're not forced to do it. That's your choice, okay? I get that. But she's the one that brought it around them. So right off the bat, obviously, I have this thing against her because, how dare you bring that shit into my mother's house to begin with. So when I'm at the hospital going to visit my unconscious brother, okay, well, he was conscious at the time, but anyway, so I'm going towards the elevator with Jason, okay, and I see this fucking bitch walking towards the elevator with my sister. And I said, whoa. Okay. And then my mother was coming off the elevator and she met us like down there because I guess my sister called her because I walked right up to her and I said, you are not fucking going in my brother's room. You can fucking leave now. Okay, before there's a problem. And this was in the middle of the hospital lobby. I'm like, fuck this. Okay? Because my mother would never fucking say anything. And she knew what was going on. But for some reason, she didn't say anything. Okay? I found out later on why, but she wasn't saying anything. So I felt like I had to stick up for my brother. And I said, what the fuck are you even doing here? Okay, my brother just fucking almost got his head chopped off in a fucking car accident. And you got him started and hooked on this shit so you could get the fuck out of here. I said, as long as I'm here, you're not going in his room. So I go up to the room and the nurse says, well, he can have whatever visitors he wants to have in the room. And I looked at my mother and my mother's like, whatever, it's whatever your brother wants. I'm like, you guys are fucking sick. Okay? I'm fucking leaving. So me and Jason left. And my sister called me later on because she was upset about something. I forgot what it was. And I found out, okay, she told me that this girl, okay, brought my brother, he asked for some pens to write notes with. So he wanted pens and paper. Pens and paper. Can you guys guess? I'll give you a minute. Some of you might guess. Everybody comes from different walks of life. Some of you might guess. She brought him pens that had no ink in them. She put baggies of shit inside the fucking pens to sneak it in the hospital to my brother because he told her he needed some shit. You just got in a fucking car accident. You're unconscious. They're probably giving you pain medication as it is, but you have to have her sneak your shit in the hospital. And when I heard that, I said goodbye. And I think that's when we moved to Florida right after that. I said, you people are sick. Okay, I can't be around this shit. I don't want to hear it anymore. It was like a non-stop fucking... You guys can see what I fucking went through, okay? I was in the middle because I was always my mother's go-to to dump shit on and ask for a solution. And when you give it to her, she basically says, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want anyway. Kind of like when I was a teenager to her. I don't know if that's karma, what the fuck she was doing. I have no clue. But that's what I mean where she wanted to be friends with the kids because she was friends with my brother. I had moved out long before. I was married with my in-laws, having a normal fucking life for once. And she had to keep fucking bringing drama. It was always fucking... So I said, I've had it. My in-laws decided to sell the house. And that's when we moved to Florida. I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting the fuck far away as I can. But this all happened like within a year. My sister fucking totaling my mother's car on the bridge. Then my brother almost with his fucking issues. And it was like nobody understood that this was only going to get worse. You keep going in this direction, it's only going to fucking get worse. Hey, listen, okay? I get it, okay? Everybody's different. Some people can walk away. Some people can't, everybody does it on their own time. And that's why I'm saying I thought my little sister, I thought she would come around, and she thinks just because she got married, like, because she called me, left a message, and she was like, oh, mom wouldn't want this. She would want the family to stick together, this, that. And just hearing her voice annoys me, to be honest with you. It's like, I can't. I just can't. I can't talk to you. Because I'll never know the truth. I will never, ever, ever, ever know what really happened to my mother that day. Never. I will only know it with what my sister has told me, because she was the only one there. And I can't get past that, especially knowing what I know, what my mother had told me leading up to her death. So it's like, I can't, like, I don't want, and then she'll start saying, oh, mom, this mom. I'm like, fuck, don't fucking talk about mom. Because how do you know what the fuck she wanted? I know what she wanted, because she told me, And so I can't, that's fake. That's why I can't deal with her. It's fakeness. It's total fakeness. And I don't have the time for that. I've been through so much already that I don't have time for fakeness. I have to take care of my own family. And that rents space in my head, that I don't need to be there, So she thinks just because she got married that's, oh, I got married, so now we can talk, and now this is, no. Get your shit together. Just because you got married and you have a puppy, that doesn't mean you got your shit together, bitch. Okay? She's got a litter of puppies, but she can't even fucking take care. I don't want to start. Okay, I told you guys so many stories today. You guys are probably at the edge of your seat like, what the fuck, Sandra? What the actual fuck? This is a totally different fucking video from the last video. I'm going to put in the title, juicy video today. Woo, 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 woo. Maybe now you can understand a little bit more of my fucking craziness here. It was just a shit show, man. Every fucking other day in New York, it was a shit show. It was. And then, oh my God, thank God. So we moved to Florida. They were in Daytona. We moved to the other side. We were in Pinellas County. We were over there, between Clearwater Beach. We were between Clearwater Beach and St. Pete. That's where we were, over that side. Okay. We lived in a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment, brand new. It was just us, and then it was like a house on stilts. It was right across the street from the beach, and I remember this little sandwich shop on the corner, Cuban sandwich shop, and you could go there and get pressed sandwiches and everything. And then there was this tiki bar right at the other corner, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And it just sucked because, once Jason had to work, we went there and we just paid up front, I think like 6 months rent up front. And then once he had to start working and I was alone, I couldn't deal because I was panicked like a motherfucker. I had a doll room. That was the only good thing. I did have a doll room. And I had beautiful dolls there. That's where I had my Hempstead dolls, my 2 giant Reborn Behringer dolls, Peaches and Cookie. And I had a bunch of dolls. And I loved it. I had doll furniture. I set up a tea set. I did big curtains. It was beautiful. But I was empty inside because I had nobody there. It was just me. He went to work, and I didn't have any medication at the time. I was flying solo. And I wasn't going to drink alone. I was like just straight as a pin. I think that's when I watched all of the seasons of Desperate Housewives. I watched every single episode, every season, back to back to back to back till I was done. I used to call my mother-in-law. Okay, she was still in New York. And I used to call my mother-in-law as soon as he left for work. And I would say, please stay on the phone with me. And we would just talk and talk and talk. And even when I wasn't talking, she would still stay on the phone with me, even if we were silent. There were so many times where she fell asleep on the phone with me, just to make sure that I was okay. And my panic attacks were really bad then. And, like I said, I didn't have medication. I wasn't on anything. So I was like, it was really, really bad. And even when Jason would come home, then he'd be tired, and it was like I was left alone again, but at least he was home. Um, but it was a really rough time. Like, it was not fun. Even though we lived across the street from the beach, I love the beach too. I do love the beach. We spent Thanksgiving on the beach. Um, it was nice. It was beautiful, but it was wrong timing. It was wrong timing. There was nobody around for me to talk to. I was alone, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. It was so silent. It was bad. It was bad. And then after about a year, 18 months, we sold all the furniture. We had bought all new furniture. We sold all the furniture. And then, except my Pier 1 bamboo chest that came with me from New York, I brought it to Florida, and then I stuffed it back in the car to bring it back. And then I lost it in storage with about 50 or 60 dolls. All my artist dolls, Hempstead, Masterpiece, One of a Kinds, my Reborn Welcome Home Emily's. I had all little Madame Alexander 8-inch dolls. I had a whole shelf of those. I had the giant Snow White and Cinderella Masterpiece dolls. I had a whole doll room because Jack was a baby. Jack was little. I just had Ethan, I think. And everything went in storage. And that was the start of a whole other fucking decade of, no, not decade, maybe 5 years. I would say 5 years of total chaos and bullshit. Another thing that I had to deal with. So you see, my life has been a constant, it's never empty. I'll say that. It's never empty. And that's what I mean by you just deal with different things as they come along. You always make it through somehow. You always make it out the other side. And sometimes you learn things. I mean, listen, I have so much knowledge under my belt. Okay? I don't know what this I do have knowledge under my belt. But besides that, I have been through so much in life. So much. Even though I'm only going to be 48, I have been through so much shit. Like, more than 10 lifetimes of people should go through. Okay? And I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still going. I'm still moving forward. And that is the most important thing. I may be broken. I don't want to start crying. I may be broken. But I'm still ticking. I'm still going. I'm still learning. Even though I have so much knowledge of so many things, there's always something new to learn. And I've opened my heart, my mind. I'm just more open to things, I feel, as you go through different experiences. You learn different things, and sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes you gotta, really focus on the good things in order to make it through the bad. Because if you're always focused on that, and I do that a lot, but then I kind of kick myself and I'm like, Sandra, there is no one, and this is what I always, when I feel down or like giving up, there is no one that is going to help lift you up except yourself. You got to be the one. I mean, people can be supportive, and I have a lot of supportive people around me right now. But that only goes so far, right? It means well. You're there to help the person emotionally, mentally, distracting, or trying to point them in the right direction. But the only one that's going to be able to help me is me. I don't have, my mother's not here anymore. Like, I could say my mother helped me tremendously, okay, without even knowing it. And that's the thing. It was really cool when I look back at it. So my mother wasn't all about, bad things. She helped me with a lot of things. That's just 1 year. Whatever I told you, that was like in just 1 year of life, okay? That's just crazy. Cuckoo crazy. Um, but it's funny. It's funny because, my mom, I remember my mom always watching me put on my makeup, like I used to do with her. When I was a real little girl, I would just stand in the doorway of the bathroom, and she would always be sitting up on the bathroom counter with her legs folded, like, we called it Indian style back then. I think now they call it crisscross applesauce in school. I don't know why, because it's Indian style. And I am part Indian, okay? American Indian. So, um, it is Indian style. Okay? But I'm sorry if anybody gets offended with that, but I don't know why they changed it to a crisscross friggin' applesauce. Okay? It's Indian style when you sit like that. So, she was sitting like that up on the counter in the bathroom, and she would be looking in the big mirror. I remember her doing her mascara and just watching her. And then as I grew up and got married and everything, when she would see me, she would look at me in the mirror, putting on my makeup. And she would always ask me, oh, what is that? Can you do my hair? Can you do my makeup? She always asked me that. Whenever my mother and my sisters came over, they always wanted French braids. They wanted me to do their makeup. It was all about,
All about them.
So you see, Jason is home. I thought I had some blue bows, but I can't find them, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. I wouldn't give blue bows away to match the dress. Maybe we didn't have any. I don't know. So, yeah, it's very, lots of storytelling today. Almost 2 hours already of just story time. Story time about my brother, when my sister stole my mother's car and crashed it over the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. She totaled it.
Through my fence.
Oh, I didn't tell the fence story. You want me to tell that one? Sure. Oh, you brought me some treats. Thank you. Thank you. We gotta have a Hershey bar for this one. All right. So, the fence.
We went bowling.
Yeah, they went bowling. I wasn't there for this one, but they went bowling.
What's bowling without drinking?
My mother started, they got a pitcher of beer. Couple pitchers of beer. And they were drunk. Well, my mother for sure. They got back to the house, to the apartment. And behind the garden, there's like a chain fence to divide the yards from the neighbor. And so the driveway doesn't have an end to it. Like, it's just the pavement, and then, you stop before the grass. At the time, our car, what was it, the Monte Carlo?
Yeah.
It didn't go in reverse. When you put
it did.
It did?
Yeah, it did. It went
I thought she went to put it in reverse, but it went forward or something like that.
Yeah.
The gears were wrong.
Well, it didn't line up perfectly, so she thought it was. But thank God, can you imagine
Right.
if she would have went on the road.
Oh my God, she would have went to the house. Anyway, so it's not a busy street. It was at a dead end. With this residential houses. Anyway, so she tells Jason she wants to go home. So
First, she told me she was going to take a nap.
Oh. She told Jason she was going to take a nap, and he left his keys out. So I guess she took the keys. She went in the car. And then what? You heard it after she crashed?
Yeah.
She went to put the car. She thought she was going in reverse to get out of the driveway, but instead she went forward. She went through the lawn, the garden, and broke the chain link fence to the neighbor.
My dad had tow us out.
Yeah. My father-in-law had to tow out the car. And then, of course, the neighbor wanted money for the fence. And my mother refused to pay it. She says it wasn't her fault because Jason wouldn't take her home.
Or something like that, yeah.
I said, Mom,
I couldn't drive.
I know. I said, Mom, that you were drunk. But to her, she when my mother wanted something, that's it. There was no change in her mind. So, she played Houdini a lot. But anyway, so that's just another mom story. So I'm trying to dress this doll. Oh, there was something I wanted to ask Jason. Remember, guys? What was it? I'm talking to them like they could talk to me back right now. What the hell was it? Oh my God! I told a story about something, and I knew you would. Oh, about the wax when I put the candle wax in the drain.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
I told them you got the snake. It wasn't long enough. You were underneath that cabinet for like weeks.
Terrible, yeah. I had to rent the professional electric fucking snake thing from Home Depot. It was terrible. I had to go out into the street. I had to run.
You did?
Well, it ran into the street.
Oh my God.
It ran out into the main fucking drain into the street.
Oh my God. I just remember having to go upstairs to do dishes because
that was bad.
But
I don't know what possessed you.
Because that was like the blackout. Remember? It was the big blackout. What year was that blackout? Like 2002?
Something like that. Yeah, I was working when that happened.
Because I didn't think. I just thought if I put the wax, it was it was overflowing. I figured if I put it down the drain and ran the hot water, it would just fucking stay like,
No.
Well, I know that now.
Good thing you didn't put it down the toilet.
Oh my God. Stop. What flavor is this Hershey Kiss?
I don't know.
I've never had this flavor before. What the hell is it? Maybe coffee?
Mint? I don't know.
It ain't mint. Look at this, guys. You ever see a Hershey Kiss wrapper like this? It's like all crazy colors. Purple, blue, orange. Psychedelic, man.
Maybe it's not candy.
What is it? At a doctor's?
Yeah.
It's
experimental.
Did you get anything else at the doctor's?
No.
What do you mean no?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Christina knows. She says we've all been there.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, Christina is home today, and she refused me for a collab, bitch. No, she's busy. I think. No, she's busy. I think she was making hot dogs and ice cream.
That sounds good right now. Hot dogs in the ice cream?
No, that's kind of just like an inside joke me and Christina have.
Oh. Save some for Kevin.
Anyway, this crazy mohair wig. I gotta find blue. I thought I had blue things, but the blue does. I don't know if I like this because of how the way it's open on her like that. I think I have to put a shirt under it.
She needs to.
But I like the blue at her eyes. Right?
Yeah.
She's so cute. I want to get her this color like a vintage looking dress. I was telling you guys on Amazon I found one. So it's not as dressy like this. It's like more of just like the top it's all blue, but it's like it has like that white kind of like bib like the dresses used to have, back in the day. And then it has like the lace trim on it. And then the embroidery up top. And then the rest of the dress is just like a solid color, like linen, like a curtain fabric. You know what I mean? Like just a sheet, like a linen.
Curtain fabric?
Like a linen fabric. It's just like a straight dress. Yeah. Like not like this. This is like, what is this called? Sequence? I don't remember.
Sequence.
Yeah. No, this is glitter. No, that's not sequence.
I can't see it from here.
No, it's like not chiffon. What the hell is this? Organza. Organza. What is this material?
How would I know?
How would you know? It's like netting. I don't remember. Anyway, it's a beautiful dress, but I don't think it fits her correctly. I think she needs, like I said, she needs more of a vintage style dress. But definitely this color goes really cute with her eyes. But I don't like these things. Let's try maybe if I switch them. Let's try to switch them out. She is heavy. So what other stories we got? Oh my God, I told so many stories today. Everybody really got a good video today, I'll tell you that. Lots of stories. I told them about when my brother got in his car accident with the...
Yeah. It's a good...
with the T-top.
Yeah, it's a good thing he was laying back.
Yeah. Oh, he was laying back?
Well, he had the seat reclined.
Oh, okay. I just
God.
remember them saying that because that T-top saved him.
Well, he had a roll bar in the car.
A
Because it was
what?
convertible.
What the hell's a roll bar?
It's in case the car rolls over, it protects the driver.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I just knew
But
that.
also because he had the car, he had the seat. He used to drive like this.
That's right. Yes, my brother used to drive with the. That's right. That's right, with the reclined seat, and then like holding the wheel all the way back here. So he was pushed, further back than if you were sitting up straight to drive. I don't know how he drove like that, to be honest with you. Well, obviously, I mean, I guess it was good in a way. But
That day.
yeah, exactly. And then I was telling him, remember the bitch fucking Maria showing up?
Oh, yeah.
I confronted her. My mother wouldn't though. My mother was she just let her in the room. Always something else. Every time there was something else, we tried to move further and further away.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then my sister. Oh my god! I can't believe. Do you remember that? Michelle stealing my mother's brand new Honda when she was cleaning the house for that lady.
No.
Yeah, she took her to work with her because Michelle wanted to take her car, her brand new car, and she was like, "Hell no, you're not driving my car," because she knew where she was going to go. And then she says, "Yeah, I think she did at the time. I don't know, maybe I don't remember." But she's okay. I'll just come with you to work. And then my mother said she started cleaning the house, and then she was calling for Michelle, and she didn't answer. And then she looked out the window, and her car was gone. And that's when she crashed on the.
Michelle crashed?
Yeah, on the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. You don't remember that?
I don't remember.
She totaled her car. The whole front end was smashed in.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's when she worked for Honda, and she got the brand new car. They always messed up my mother's cars. Then, even when she got her brand new car in Florida, they fucked it up. Anyway, I'm trying different things on this doll. I don't really like this silvery one. Let's try the white. She needs a different color bow in the middle, and I can't find a blue one.
Put the ears back on.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll put it back. I'm not going to be wearing them after the video. So I'll just put it back. That's kind of cute. I don't know about this bow. I need to find a blue one or something to put there. Oh, well, maybe I could cover it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll have to just switch. If I put the pink, then the bow will cover it. I don't know. I don't like, because this shows, I'm going to have to put a shirt under it. I don't like that. So I'm not even going to bother putting this stuff on right now because I'm probably going to change her. Because I don't like how it shows like the top of her. Yeah, it's more like chat and no changing. So, guys, I'm going to leave her like this for now because I just wanted to see how the blue looks on her. The color is nice, but the dress doesn't fit correctly. I don't like, you see all the doe suede. That doesn't fit her right.
Oh, doe suede.
Yeah, the doe suede body. So, the color is nice. So, I got to find her. I want to find her something vintage looking. I found it. I just got to wait and get it. So, yeah, the blue will look nice for her. And then I'll have to get her some kind of blue little hair bow. I'm not feeling this big thing on her. I don't know. That doesn't look right to me. So I need blue bows, little blue bows for her hair, and then a cute little vintage dress, maybe a little pocketbook she could hold or something. I'll find her something. But she's so cute. Hi guys. Don't I look adorable with my glass eyes? This one's not as spunky as Maggie, but Maggie's over there playing with a rattle, so we'll leave her there for today. And then we got this one in the back here, well, one of yours. So let me bring on the Reborns quick, just to show you, and then I don't know. Does Jason have any stories? So
sure I do. I don't know if I want to share them.
What?
Told her when she tried to run me over?
No, go ahead. You can tell that one. Go ahead. Why?
Time.
Another time. Yeah, she tried to run Jason over with her car. We laugh now, but it's because she wanted more beer. She was already drunk. She drove to the house. She wanted some more beer. And, and he wouldn't get it for her. So what, he got out of the car. I wasn't there for this one. I think I was up at the house. He got out of the van, and because he was going to start walking up the hill. We used to have a driveway that was like a freaking hill. You had to take a running start with the car just to fucking get up because it had all holes in it and shit. So that was the fire. The car went on flames. That's the next story. So he's trying to walk up, cross the road to walk up, and she's fucking slammed on the gas to try and run him over. And then she hit the mailbox. Oh my God.
The neighbor's mailbox, yeah.
The neighbor's mailbox, yeah. So what happened with the fire one? The fire one, you tried to fix her oil?
They wound up giving me it turned out to be the wrong part, but
Jason was trying to fix my mother's car, and they gave him the wrong part to fix the car with. What they gave me.
I was changing the valve cover gasket, and they gave me the wrong part, and oil started leaking out, and it went on fire.
They gave him the wrong gasket, and the oil started leaking. And by the time she drove up the driveway to the house, he popped the hood, and the fucking flames came out.
Yeah.
How about in the very beginning of our relationship when we were sleeping, we heard it? No, I don't even think we heard it. You woke up and your fucking speakers were gone out of your car.
The dog didn't even make a sound.
The dog didn't even bark.
He was old,
Somebody came in the night and went in his car and stole the fucking boombox. What was it?
it was a lot of money there.
They stole it right out of the fucking car.
Sure, yeah. They went through the back seat.
How did we not even hear that now that I think about it? They had to have walked up the driveway.
Oh, yeah. Or drove up.
No, you would have heard that. I don't fucking know. But we've been through some crazy shit. Wait, what was the other story?
Which one?
I don't know. We're just going to tell them another story.
I don't know. Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh my God. That's when we were in Florida.
Yeah.
We were driving in Florida. And, what did they cut us off or something?
I don't know, some kids.
Some kids driving. They cut us off, and the song was on from Carrie Underwood for American Idol, Jesus Take the Wheel.
As soon as it came on.
As soon as the song came on, that's they pulled out and they went in our lane when they weren't supposed to, and we slammed on the brake and hit them in the back.
No, I'm not sure.
Or the side.
They hit us, I think.
They hit us? Well, they were coming out of a parking lot. Yeah, it was their fault, but they were coming out of a parking lot trying to get in front of us, I think, in the lane.
I don't know.
And then they hit the side of the back bumper, I think.
Yeah.
So they stopped. We pulled over, and then they were like, "Yo, can we not call the cops?" Right? They were
thank God.
Yeah, thank God is right. They were like, "Oh no, can we not call the cops?" I don't even think we exchanged any insurance or anything.
No, I didn't have any at the time.
Oh, that's right. That's why you're saying thank God.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he had an insurance lapse, I think.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because we were in Florida. That's right. Crazy shit. Gee, well, our life now seems pretty plain and quiet compared to everything.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember when I was driving to work in Florida with that car and the fucking wheel fell off.
What? The wheel came off?
Well, the CV joint broke.
Oh my God.
The whole fucking tire went like this.
How'd you get home?
Somebody gave me a ride, I think.
Oh my God. Yeah, that guy, weren't you friends with like Edgar or something? Tucker, that was an Edgar. Tucker. Oh my God. How about when...
Oh yeah, I used to hate working on cars, especially, oh my God, in the winter, changing alternators on the side of the road.
How about when you...
In February.
Yeah, how about when you got stuck? That's what I was going to say, on the highway in the snow. Accidents. Remember when you went to the snow embankment and you couldn't get out?
Yeah, no.
You had to dig your way out.
I dug my way out, and as soon as I dug my way out, I slammed into the guardrail, and the airbags went off, and blew the windows out. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
I've been through so many vehicles.
Oh my God.
Not one person would help me.
Well, that's New York for you.
Yeah, that's New York. That was right.
Oh my God. That was before. That's when you could drive. That was before your
The
seizures.
seizures.
So
Oh, thank God it's been a while.
yeah, I know. Those that was fucking scary. Oh my God, he had a seizure at a deli one
The
day.
last one. That was the last one I
That
had.
was the last one. Oh my God.
I woke
Yeah,
up getting staples in my head in the hospital.
he had a seizure and he
Fell
fell
into a glass
into the
counter.
glass counter at the deli. And I didn't know what was going on because he never came back. He said he was going to the deli. He didn't get back. And so I put the kids in the stroller. Ethan was in the stroller. Jack was little. And I started walking up there. And I remember I kept saying to Vinny, I said, did he get my cigarettes? Did he get my cigarettes? Because that's when you were going up there to get donuts for the kids and get cigarettes. So I didn't know where you were. I was like, what the fuck? So I got the kids. I started walking up there, and then I see the ambulance is what happened. There was like 3 or 4 ambulance or whatever.
A lot of them back
Yeah, going towards the deli, and I'm like, shit. So one of our friends at the time, Vinny, he ran up there to see what was going on. And then he came back and he let me know. He's like, you don't want to see it. He's like, I'll go with him. I don't know if he went with you, but he said he was going to go. I don't know what happened.
I don't remember much, but I remember him.
I know Jess stayed with me, I remember. I don't know if Vinny went with you in the ambulance or something. I don't remember.
I remember
but
another time putting Jack. I remember I had just enough time to put Jack in the stroller, and then I dropped.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember my
on
dad
the playground
catching me one time.
Yep.
My dad caught me as I was falling.
There was another time at the house where I seen him, like he was holding Jack. Or were you holding Ethan as a baby? No, I think it was Jack. He was holding him because we were going to go, I think, out with your dad. And I seen you about to fall. I seen you about, like you were starting to have a seizure. And I went right and I caught baby. I don't know if it was Ethan or Jack. But I got him just in time before you fell backwards.
Yeah.
It was really scary. Really scary. Those seizures are scary if anybody goes through those. But he hasn't had one in years, thank God. What is going on outside? It's just
They're doing a lot of construction.
No, but
it's nasty.
Yeah, it looks like.
At least it ain't a blizzard.
I mean, at least a blizzard's pretty to look at if you don't have to drive in it. True. But it's still been cold here. I haven't had the heat on at all. I'm not cold. And I don't know, but I've been cold the last few days, but I don't know. But anyway, so this is Jack, and he's still in his little fox romper, which I'm going to leave in him for a while, I guess. He looks a little like, I don't know if I have to clean him. He's like a little, he was just revarnished, so. No, he has like a little, like I see a little shine here. I don't know what that is from. I don't like that, though. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's like right under his eye here. Camera, I don't know if it's going to pick it up. But look at Hazel. Yeah, he's going to be 18 in August. The real Jack. But this Jack is going to be... No, he's 6 years in June.
Yeah, that's
6 years old in June. I've had him for 6 years. That's crazy for a doll for me to have for 6 years. You know he's a forever keeper. Mm-hmm. And he still looks damn good. I mean, he was revarnished once. Anna said he didn't even need it, but she did it for me anyway. I just sent the head, and she revarnished the head for me. But he's still in really great shape. Hello. I'm going to be 18 soon. But I'm not leaving the nest quite yet. I have some things to get in order first. So that's Jack. And him and Danielle are waiting for their sister. I haven't even thought of names yet because I don't even know what she looks like, to be honest with you. But let's just show you Danielle. And she is still in her beautiful copper pearl gown from Aunt Sherry. My favorite. That's my favorite, by the way, if you ever want to buy something for the dolls. Oh, you know. So you can find them on Amazon. They're always on my wish list. I always attach my wish list to all my videos in case you ever want to buy me something.
Yeah, I tried that for Valentine's Day. You said don't get me that.
Well, it wasn't for the babies.
No, I know it was for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, well, you should know that, like, I just bought lotion. Like, I didn't want lotion. All right, I'm not going to discuss this again, like,
No,
with
I know.
your buying your hat. It's like, I already told this story.
Just because I bought myself a hat.
No, because it was like a mysterious purchasing. Like, when I looked at the Amazon purchases, and in the middle of the night, and I seen, like, a hat and perfume, and, like, I thought you were going on some kind of fucking vacation with your mistress. No, but you bought, like, Bath and Body Works perfume and lotions and stuff. Yeah, well, I didn't know that. Anyway, I thought you were going on some kind of Valentine's, fucking vacation. I don't know. Anyway. So this is Danielle, and she's patiently waiting for her sister. I don't know when the sister's going to be here, but and what else? There might be, I'm not going to discuss much about it now, but there might be a silicone in my future. We don't know yet. What? Jason said, what? It's a good deal. Great deal. Great mega deal.
You sure?
Yeah, it's a mega deal. It does.
I feel bad for her, man. I really broke my heart.
I know. Well, yeah, see, Amanda? It did. It broke our heart, but I hope you get that fixed. Yeah, that was terrible. We watched that video Amanda did opening her silicone. I mean, that's just... It's horrible when you get a bad box opening, period. Like, it doesn't even matter what the doll is.
Right.
And because, no matter what the price, I mean, somebody could pay, $50 for a doll. If that's their, like, limit, that's the only money that they have to spend on a doll, and you get something that is damaged or you didn't know about, you freak out because you're like, well, what the fuck?
Pay for anything, you expect to get what you won't get.
Right. So that was really messed up, so you got to be careful, guys, even on Reborns. You got to be careful because people try to scam you there too. And I thought that was a really safe site. So I don't know what happened with that. But I'll leave that for Amanda to tell, if she wants to tell that story. But just be careful, guys. No matter where you shop for your dolls, you got to be careful. You got to ask questions, and pictures. Always ask for all angles. You want to know everything, especially a silicone doll, because they rip easily, they tear, they have, they're not as, like, durable as, vinyl would hold up, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's just in general. And so I think, too, that they... you got to appreciate the art for what it is, because you're not going to get a silicone unless you pay like $10,000. I've seen one for $12,000 on Reborns, a silicone doll. $12,000. Oh my God. Like that, I could buy a tiny home. Okay. That's crazy. But unless you're going to pay that amount, like upwards of $5-6 grand, the painting on a silicone, you can't expect to look like this. It's just not going to be as perfect. It's the medium you're working with, and it's so you have to appreciate the art for what it is, because you can't compare a silicone to a vinyl. It's going to be completely different. And so as I see dolls, right, I'm trying to do that too, because I have this set in my mind that this is what a baby's supposed to look like. This is what the doll's supposed to look like. So if I get something that's not of equal painting value, then, I start to think, oh, this isn't good, or this, but I'm learning to appreciate it for what it is and not to compare to something else. So that's what we're trying to do. That being said, I think that, like, this deal is too good to pass up. If it works out, I hope it does. And I think I'm be getting an incredible deal, and it's something that I've never had yet. I've never had an authentic silicone yet. So Something new, something different. And still waiting for the box opening from Anna. So that's coming up soon. Don't know when. Hopefully by the end of the week, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. And my Kate Quinn order still has not shipped. So I checked that out this morning. It still has not shipped. They are very, very slow shipping your order, especially when there's sales going on. And there are major sales going on there. You just have
Is
to.
that the hat place?
You just have to look. Yeah, yes, the elf hats.
Yeah.
Very good. The hat place. They're doing a lot of like vintage prints. So they had like the lion print. They had, if they had any of the giraffe, I would have grabbed those. So they're bringing a lot of like their vintage prints back in certain items, not everything. I haven't seen any elf hats though. I should go check for those. If you catch a sale on that website, it could be great. Okay. But you have to catch the sale because she like, boom, puts it out and then it's done in 24 hours. So you got to really watch for the sales. And even then, I mean, like those rompers would go half price and usual price is 28. So they would go down to like, I think I got that for 14. But then it's shipping. So then it turned out to be like over $20 with shipping tax, which is, I think that's a little pricey for one outfit, but but these are the same. The gowns go for roughly around $28 a piece, unless you catch a sale. That's why you always got to check. Always check. I'm not patient with very many things, but I am patient with the doll clothes. So I'll look and keep them on my list and go check and see, what price goes down, and if I could get it, then. Because I don't like paying full price for this. I just don't. But if there's a special print, there's one that I've been wanting so bad. I think it's on my list. It's like a white background and it has blue bows all over it, like this, but in blue, and it has them all over the gown. Hint, hint. It's blue. It has blue bows all over the gown. There's really cute ones. There's new ones on there too. So I don't know. Maybe I'll grab them on Friday. I don't know, because they have empty drawers now. I sold all the clothes basically to Christina. But, the drawers will fill again, so I'm not worried about that. One thing at a time. And I'm getting a box opening with the new baby, so we'll see what kind of clothes she comes with. And that's that. This baby is so cute. I really didn't think I would like her. I mean, this was one of those dolls that I was like on a whim, and I was like, okay, she has the kit already. I never got this one. I'll try it. What do you think of this one? Besides the painting, because Anna paints all nice.
Yeah,
what do you
it's
think
cute.
of the face, like
Cute.
the sculpt?
It's a nice one.
Honestly, when I first seen this sculpt, I mean, I'm way used to her now. When I first seen it, for some reason, I thought of Nonna.
Nonna.
Yeah, she had just had that like Nonna look.
Really?
I don't know. And then I thought she looked like Michelle as a baby, a little bit. I don't know, her features. But now she just looks like Danielle. I have no clue what I'm going to name the new one, but anyway, so cute. For the past few days I haven't felt good, and I haven't picked them up or anything. But honestly, when you hold one, I don't know, just you feel a little different, a little better. They're so cute.
Can I put the heat on?
Yeah, I'm going to end the video anyway. All right, guys. I kept you long enough. 2:18. I don't know what I'm going to put this one in, but I got to dress her in something after I go pee. But I don't know what I'm going to put her in, so I don't know. We'll put this here for now. And then I got to find her something to wear. I don't know what she's going to wear. But I'll find her something. Maybe I don't know. I got to find her something. Maybe I could just put that white sweater over the dress to keep just the blue. You know what? Just give me that sweater for a second. Let me just try that, and then I'm going to go.
What sweater?
You see that on the hanger, that white sweater there?
Yeah.
Just give me that. Plus, because I got to stretch out my leg. My knee is killing me. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Thanks. So, I'm going to try and just put this white sweater over her, over the blue dress. I mean, that might work. Can I hang this on here? What time is it anyway?
2.
Oh, shit. They're going to be home already. Darn it, Barbie. If anybody watches Toy Story, that's what Ken says. Darn it, Barbie. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, but that pink bow in her hair has got to go. I don't know where. I could just leave the 2 white ones is what I'm going to do. Because that doesn't match. And then that does go with her white tights. It's kind of cute. But this pink hair bow's got to go. And I don't have any. I don't know what other color to put. I thought I had a blue one. You know what? Do me a favor. Take that thing out of Maggie's hair. No, you're not touching my hair. Don't try it. Don't touch my hair, bitch. No. We just took the little bow out of Maggie's hair so I can match. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Matilda. I'm not letting you take my hair bow. You're gonna see. You're gonna find out. Go ahead, try and come over here, Matilda. Go ahead, I dare you. Walk on over. Come on. Come on, Matilda.
You'd be walking over if you'd be living back.
Yeah, you. Or is that from Nutty Professor?
Yeah.
You'd be walking over, but you'd be limping back. That was a funny ass movie, man.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, anybody watch Norbit?
Yeah.
That is so funny, that movie. I am wearing bottoms. That's how I feel. I'm going to the beach. I have on bottoms. What do you mean? Going down the slide. Or she's trying to fit in the car. She's beeping the horn with her boobs. Yeah, you messed with my seat, Norbit. I would watch that movie again. You always say, oh, you never watch movies twice. I would watch that one.
Well, let's watch it.
But the kids can't be around when that one's on. That's for sure.
It's not that bad.
Fuck, are you serious? Norbit is not that bad for kids?
Well, for Ethan and Jack?
I would not watch a movie like that with them. No, you can't, no. I think sometimes you forget all the scenes in a movie.
I watched so much stuff as a kid.
Yeah, I know, but we watched more like Freddy and
No,
Jason
I
at the
watched
lake and horror
so much
stuff. Not like you
Yeah,
watch with your
stuff.
mother. You
No,
watch with your mother.
I don't know with my mother, but
Exactly.
I watched some stuff with my dad.
Yeah, that was back then, man. We also drank from a hose.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
Yes, a miracle. Nobody got kidnapped. We were always walking the streets.
Yeah, we're all polluted with forever.
Well, oh, that's what I wanted to know, because I was talking about our generation, and I forgot if we're X, Y, or Z.
X.
X. Is there a Z?
Yeah,
There is.
Jack.
Oh, Jack is Z? What's Danny?
A.
A? Generation A.
Yeah, Alpha. Or A, yeah.
What's Ethan? Same as Jack?
I think he's like on the cusp.
Who?
He's on the cusp, like right in the middle.
Between Ethan and Danny?
Yeah.
I mean, Jack?
Yeah.
So Jack is what?
Z.
A Z. And Danny's an A?
Yeah.
And what the hell are we?
X.
X. We're Generation X. Wait, we're the step down from boomers?
Yeah.
Okay, so boomers then us. Why do they call them boomers? They had a lot of kids?
No, because when after World War II, there was a big baby boom. Baby boomers, they call them boomers.
They had a lot of kids.
No, boomers didn't have a lot of kids. The silent generation had a lot of kids. The World War
Oh,
II
their
generation.
parents.
Yeah.
Their parents are the ones that had a lot of kids, so that's
Right.
why they're called that.
Boom.
So how old would those people be right now? Boomers, like
They're
70s?
dust.
So what? No, they're
Boomers
not.
are in their
They're.
70s.
I thought, yeah, they're above us. That's what I said. The boomers are like 70s now,
Oh, I thought
80s.
you meant their parents.
No, they're dust. Sweet. You want to be sprinkled in the plants, right?
Sure.
Or do you want me to put you
Doesn't
next to
matter.
my mother?
Well, I won't know at that point.
Listen, if I go first, you can put me next to my mother, but don't mix me with my mother, okay? Because I'll come back to haunt you. What?
I'll use you as waiting.
Yeah, use me as waiting in the doll. Put me in Maggie. Yeah. I told Jason if I go first, my soul's gonna go into the doll. I said if the doll starts talking, you know it's me. He says no. Oh, well, I know it's you. I said we have to have a code word. I asked Ethan, I said, if I died and I came back in the doll, I said, would you get scared? And he said, I would kick you off the porch. That's why we gotta have a code word. I don't want to leave the earth. I have to go into the doll. So I'll be like a nice Chucky doll.
That's scary.
Why? If I just start talking, hey babe, what's up? What are we having for dinner?
Sure. What am I having for you?
I mean, if I die and all of a sudden the doll starts talking, you know it's me, obviously.
I've had enough at that point.
Stop, I gotta pee. He said he's had enough at that point. Do you realize on May 1st we're married 30 years?
Yeah.
What a face when I said that. He's like, yeah. 30 years. That's fucking crazy.
Lifetime.
That is 2 lifetimes.
Well, yours and mine.
Mine.
No, yours and mine. Your
Oh.
lifetime and my lifetime.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's crazy. 30 years. So what, are you doing something special for me? 30 years?
Every time I try to do something special, you tell me to stop.
Make me some Chinese food.
Yeah, I'm gonna call your uncle.
Yeah, get me a copper pearl gown. You can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
And just let me pick it out and you could just press buy. And then you wrap it. Just like we do for Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway, the heat. Ugh, all right. Anyway, so this looks really cute on her, I think. I feel, for now, you know? She's got on the white sweater with the puffy blue dress. So at least it brings out her eyes some. Maybe you have to fold this up a little bit more, like up here. Do you think it goes okay? I mean,
Yeah,
of
I
course,
think it's nice.
of course it would go better with, like, I think
It's like
pants.
going to a party.
She's going to, yeah, what party is she going to?
I don't know.
I'm not going with Maggie, that's for sure. Come on, Matilda, I dare you. Come over here on the couch with me. I'm not going over there. You better be nice to me, Maggie, or I'm telling Danny. I don't care, tell him. What is he going to do? You're going to find out. Anyway, guys, we're going to go. We're going to go, because we're going to go now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Matilda says goodbye. Maggie says goodbye, even though she's over there and, you know, Maggie will be Maggie, but we gotta love her anyway. And, you know, she gets attitude from, because we watch, I think it's Reborn Diaries, and this lady does, like, a full-out, like, role play video with, a blonde Maggie. She has Mindy is the dark-haired one. Derek, she has the boy, and then baby Louie is the Maddie Sculpel, blonde hair but a boy. And it's just hysterical. She does these adorable little role play videos, and Danny loves them. Danny loves. There are some that I don't want to watch because some of them get like really, you know, like when she gets cut or she goes to the dentist and she basically like kicks the dentist. It gets bad. Some of them are bad, but they're cute and he likes them. And when he watches them, I'll say, come on, let's watch Reborn Diaries. And he goes on the couch, he grabs Maggie, he grabs Maddie, he sits them down on the rug, and then he sits in between them and they all watch it together. So, it's cute, you know, but anyway, so, and now he's getting into watching this Darman, which some of them I don't think he should be watching. We gotta kind of like, you know, watch them with him because some of them he may not understand. They're meant for older kids, some of them. But I'd rather him watch those. At least they learn lessons. I'd rather him watch that than like Lanky Box.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Those people. Oh my god, they're really, really popular. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Lanky Box on YouTube. Really, really, really popular, but they just do like stupid stuff, like jump into a wall and laugh hysterical, or they slip and it's so funny they're all hysterical, or you know, they just do silly stuff. So, who's that? Anything? Oh, so yeah, I'd rather him watch that. At least he learns some kind of lesson. But anyway, so I'm really gonna go now. Long ass video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to watch my other video because I will be back on Wednesday with something special. So I'm going to be back Wednesday, and then whenever my dog gets here, I know I keep saying it, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed all my stories today. I am not going to be able to watch this back right now, so enjoy. I hope that everything is good, unedited. But, you know, enjoy yourself. You know, you're definitely going to need a drink after these stories. You know, a whole pot of coffee. I don't know. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed everything today. I had a lot of fun. I feel a lot better right now that I was able to talk to you guys. And, yeah, so enjoy the video, and I will see you next time on Little Meatball's Nursery. And, yeah, I love you all. And don't forget to check out Cuddles by Christina. Her birthday is coming up on March 6th. So if you feel like sending her a gift or a card or anything, or just send her some love in an email or something like that, go check out her channel, Cuddles by Christina. I will link her wish list in my description below, as well as mine. And, if anybody would like to go and check that out for gift ideas for yourself or a loved one, please go check that out and send Christina some birthday love. And like I said, I'll be back on Wednesday. So guys, till next time, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your friends. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.